Back now, going inside the war room with our panel, looking at the action plan for the final 60 days before Election Day. Obama and McCain have spent the past 2 weeks, respectively, revving up the base. Now, the challenge is to close the deal with voters. How will McCain and Obama win the independents and those undecided voters? Obama showed that he can be a fighter last night, sparring with Bill O'Reilly on Fox News, who pushed Obama on his opposition to the Iraq troop surge. Watch.
But it worked. Well, look, Bill, what I've said is, I've already said it succeeded beyond our wildest dreams.
So why can't you just say I was right in the beginning and I was wrong about the surge?
Because there is an underlying problem with what we've done. We have reduced the violence.
Yeah.
But the Iraqis still haven't taken responsibility.
All of that just a warm-up, of course, for when Senator Obama sits down with Keith Olbermann on Countdown. That's Monday night. Think about it all weekend. But let's go to the answer, Pat, with Bill O'Reilly. You buy that, what Obama's saying?
No, look, Obama, basically, I saw that as him admitting the surge worked, and I think that helps McCain, but there's no doubt about it. Obama knows his weakness is he's not a fighter. So he's now coming out as a fighter, and he was a fighter in his acceptance speech. And McCain knows that Obama's issue of change is working, so McCain is a change candidate. This is how these campaigns interact. When one guy gets a good idea, moves well, like on drilling or something like that, and McCain moved and you see Obama moving toward it. I think this is just the process unfolding in a general election.
Julian, why is it that Obama can't give any quarter on this issue of the surge, which has demonstrated some real progress?
I disagree with that. I think he said before that the surge has worked, but the implosion of al-Qaeda inside of Iraq and the Sunni awakening have also been major factors as well. What he said on O'Reilly last night was no different from what he said as far as a month ago. But I think Pat is right. The two things that Obama has to do to close the deal right now is to fight back. He's going to be attacked personally. I think all the old Reverend Wright stuff is going to come back out. He's got to fight back. People want a fighter. The second thing he's got to do is he's got to spell out even more specifically what he means by change, specifically on kitchen table issues. He owns the brand of change. And Senator McCain, as the leader of the incumbent party who has voted with President Bush 90% of the time, has a real uphill battle. And, Democrats can say, about incumbency, and then we can paraphrase Palin. A pig with lipstick on is still a pig. And incumbency trying to argue for change really doesn't fly.
All right. Today at a glass factory in Northeast Pennsylvania, Obama accused the McCain campaign of trying to make the campaign about nothing more than personality. Watch.
This is not about personalities. If you want it to be about personalities, we'll go out for a beer sometime and we'll talk. And but you don't have time. You'd rather spend it with your family. What you do want to know is that you're going to have somebody who's fighting for you.
This is interesting, Ann, because you and I covered George Bush in 2000, where there was a lot of focus on personality, a lot of focus with comfort level. I remember Gore and Bush in the debates and Gore walking up on Bush, and all of that interplay went to the idea of, do you feel comfortable with these guys? And what McCain has done in this speech last night is say, look, there's an egomaniac on one side and me who puts country first. It is a very direct attack about who these people are, kind of personal integrity and character, which is the real outreach to swing voters.
Oh, absolutely. There's no mistaking what country first really means. I think, though, that they recognize that Obama has spent the last year and a half out on the campaign trail getting people to know his personality. And the people who have flocked to him so far have found something in his personality or his persona, whatever you want to call it, that they really like. McCain has always had a strong personality brand, although he seemed to have lost it some at early points in the campaign. And even now, he hasn't had it really shine for him. He certainly didn't in his speech last night. So they're trying to pit this as a personality contest that will really let McCain go out, do town hall meetings, seem more down to earth than he has, and certainly more than they think Obama has been over the last sort of 6 to 8 months.
Response, Pat?
I think Obama is dead on. Look, when we get down here, you notice the polls. He was at 50%, about 8 ahead. Now he's back down to 42. Doubts have been raised about Obama. And ultimately, David, what it's going to come down to in this campaign for Republicans, they've got to convince the nation that wants change that you cannot take the risk here. You can't roll the dice with this lightweight and this guy's got no accomplishments, no record, the big talker. That's what it's all about in the final analysis, that people are going to say, I want change. I just can't go with that guy. And
John?
Obama's got to do the Reagan thing. He's got to say at the end of the race, people are going to say, the guy's our guy, let's take a chance.
John Harwood, before we go to the break, the issue of Hillary Clinton. We're inside the war room now. She put out a statement after McCain's speech last night saying Senator Obama and Senator Biden offered the new ideas and positive change for America that America needs and deserves after 8 years of failed Republican leadership. Senator McCain and Governor Palin do not. So to slightly amend my comments from Denver, no way, no how, no McCain, Palin, she looks like she's ready to get up off the sidelines and play an active role with Palin in the race.
Yes, and that will be very useful because a lot of these downscale swing voters, particularly Walmart women, as one of the campaign people referred to them to me, are people who are listening to Hillary Clinton. They may have been for her in the primaries. And again, you've got multiple considerations. Cultural politics work, values work. But the worse the economy is, the more they're going to look to other cues for their vote. And on this question that Pat mentioned, the more people are upset with the way things are, the more likely they are to take a flyer at the different guy, the new guy. The more satisfied they are, the more likely they'll stick with what they know. That's one of the fundamental dynamics in favor of Barack Obama in this election.